So I want to talk about some very troubling news because what is actually happening right now, and this title is no joke. Over the past month or two, we have heard of multiple Walmart locations that they've decided to close down. Not overnight, not temporarily due to COVID. They're closing down their store, shutting their doors, sending employees away because of underperformance. Now, this is troubling for a multitude of reasons. But one of the reasons why they're closing down is because of underperformance. Now, Walmart's reasoning behind a lot of this is if a store is not getting the business that it needs to stay open and stay profitable, and this is something that they've done in the past, they will close the doors. This also means people are not shopping at those locations. It's one of the biggest retailers in the world, and if people are not shopping at that location, there's a reason for it. And just based off of the research that I've done, going into different Walmarts myself, okay, even one that did close yesterday, that one's in Bellevue, Washington, they saw shortages galore. A lot of this was due to shortages. People were not going into those stores. Okay, the last time I went into that Bellevue store, well, for one, it was just a little bit run down. Right? There were so many products that were missing. Employees just wouldn't go into work. A lot of issues. But what does this mean moving forward? Well, here's what I can tell you. Walmart's not the only store. Okay? So when it comes to buying products, I understand you're probably saying, well, I used to go to that store, but they just didn't have much stuff, so I stopped going. Well, here's the other thing you need to keep in mind. There's other stores out there, and some of these other stores are closing down as well. A lot of it is because that location, that city, that town, that's having a tough time getting products in. Usually a lot of these products are going to the bigger cities, right? The bigger stores, the more profitable stores. Now, when a major retailer shuts its doors, especially in a small town, guess what happens? The other stores, the other locations, they have less competition. And what have we learned about less competition when the demand is still the same? Prices can go up. Prices will go up. These stores are going to increase their price because guess what? You have all the same people buying all the same products, but now instead of two stores, you have one store. Everybody's competing for that individual product. Guess what? Prices have to go up. Okay, supply and demand. So just understand, Walmart shutting its doors in certain locations, those locations are going to see prices increase. Inflation is going to go up in those locations. May not happen worldwide, may not happen across the United States, and we'll see in the next few weeks, but in those locations, prices are likely to go up. Now, when prices are already really high and the only option is for prices to increase even faster, that's not good news. Guess who that hurts? The lower income and middle income households. Now, Walmart has announced multiple closures over the past really 10 years, right? We saw a bunch of store closures in, I believe, 2016, saw a bunch in 2018 and 19, and just recently we saw there's a few. One was in Louisville, Kentucky. Another one was in Guilford, Connecticut. Another one was in Mayfield Heights, Ohio. And just yesterday, like I said, the store in Bellevue, Washington, right here, closed down. Okay? Now, the problem with this is that these stores don't just close, right? They slowly start to lose employees, slowly start to lose customers, and then they eventually underperform and shut down. Well, here's what Walmart's doing to try to combat this. Instead of keeping their stores open for 24 hours, what some Walmarts are now doing is they actually are closing overnight. So instead of staying open for 24 hours, many locations are switching from a 24-hour model. Now they're switching to, okay, we're going to close at like 10 or 12 p.m. or 10 p.m. or 12 a.m. and then open up again at like 4 or 5, right? So that they can get some cleaning, so they can restock shelves and all those other things, right? That's another issue. Is those workers, guess what? Some of those workers, the people that were at the checkout counter, right? Some of them aren't working now, those additional hours. So guess what? They get their hours cut. Means they're making less money. So Walmart closing down. Okay, that's just one store. Then we got, like Safeway or Albertsons or Kroger, right? There's a whole bunch of other stores, not just Walmart. But keep that in mind. As the more and more stores do shut down, the problem is other stores could be right there on their heels. They could shut down as well. And if multiple stores start shutting down, guess what? That will turn into a major crisis. Not just because we'll see food shortages, because guess what? Now you gotta go to this one specific store that you may never shop at. That's where you gotta go to get your products. But again, if that one store is the only store that has it, their prices will likely be higher. So, according to multiple reports just this afternoon, the expectation is food shortages are going to continue, but when we see food shortages, we will likely see stores close, because if they can't keep the products coming in that they need, well, the other problem is then they would shut down the store. Because if nobody's buying, they don't have products, well, that's that. So that's what we know at this time. Again, I just wanted to fill you in on what was going on. I know it's a very short video compared to what I normally do, but again, just wanted to fill you in on what's happening right now. There's nothing to really be too concerned about at this moment, but if this continues, this is definitely something that we need to watch, all right? So again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.